Afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another installment of a Parsha Minute from the Talmud Lunch and Learn, where we get together every single Friday, even throughout the summer, at 12 o'clock at the Torch Center. And welcome to our friends online. So this week's Parsha, we have the story about Balak, who asks the big prophet Bilaam to curse the Jewish people. And as we know, the curse never came to fruition. There are a couple of different observations I'd like to make about this. The first is that why did the non-Jews, why did the Gentiles have such a powerful prophet? According to some commentaries, Bilaam had greater powers than Moses had. He had greater powers as a prophet than Moses had. And Rashi asked this question as well. Why such a powerful prophet? So as we know, we've discussed this numerous times, God sent out a memo before giving out the Torah to the Jewish people. God sent out a memo to all the prophets of all the nations. Every nation had a prophet. Every nation had a prophet. And they all got the same memo saying, I'm about to give out my blueprint for mankind, otherwise known as the Torah. Let me know if you want it. And the story goes that every nation, the Midrash says this, every nation asked, oh, what's in it? And God tells the Muslims, right, the Ishmaelites, he tells them, oh, thou shalt not steal. But not steal, forget it, not for us. He tells the French, thou shalt not covet. Oh, forget it, no way. No adultery, it's out. Right? And so on, every nation, God told them what was in it. And they said it's not for us, except for the Jews. The joke goes that God said, you want the Torah? They asked, how much is it? God said, it's free. They said, we'll take 10 of them, right? And that was the 10 Commandments, right? But the truth is that God gave out the Torah, but he sent out this message to all of the prophets. And every prophet was given equal power in the sense that they can influence their people. Just an interesting side note is that we mentioned this before. I saw this in I believe it was in Midrash. I saw it. That what happens to those people? So let's say it was presented to the French, or it was presented to the Ishmaelites. It was presented to the countries of the Far East. Who wants the Torah? So they take a vote. It comes in front of their Congress, and respectively, and each one takes a vote. Oh, majority voted no, goodbye. Right? We don't want it. They send the message back. Sorry, not for us. What happens to those who voted yes? They were overruled by the majority, but what happens to them? So I forget the source, but I remember seeing this as probably in a Midrash, that those who said yes are the future converts to Judaism. And you think everybody amongst the Jews said yes? There was someone who said no. And those are the ones who later on converted to other religions. So ultimately, those who really wanted it had the opportunity to accept it, not within their framework of their nation. Right? They had to become Jews. But here's the question. Why did they need prophets? Why did they need a prophet? If they didn't get the Torah, why did Bilaam need to be such a powerful prophet? So Rashi explains this so beautifully. He says, because otherwise the nations of the world would complain. They say, it's not fair. Had we had a Moses, we would also accept the Torah. But we didn't have a Moses. We don't have a Moses, so therefore we didn't accept the Torah. So what does God say? I'm going to give them a more powerful prophet than Moses. I'm going to give someone like Bilaam. And someone like Bilaam has such incredible power. No one can ever say that I didn't give them a chance. Like it wasn't fair. Like it was staged. No. You also had a prophet. You also had the ability to accept the Torah had you wanted it. But you didn't want it. I gave you the powerful prophet. I gave you the Moses of your religion. That's the first point. The second point, I think, is so important for us to understand. What was Bilam's challenge? Just by the way, it's an interesting story. You look at the story of Bilam. You read the Torah portion that this week's parsha, and he's vayachavosh et asono, and he packs his donkey, and then his donkey stops. So he starts hitting the donkey. Right? He says, "Move it, let's go," and the donkey starts talking. Now, I don't know. It's like, imagine this: you're driving your car, right? And the car stops driving. It turns off. The engine turns off. You start hitting your dashboard. You're like, what's wrong with you? You get out of the car, start hitting the hood and hitting the trunk, and the car starts talking. And the car starts telling you, hey, Susan, why are you hitting me? Don't you know I've been so loyal? I've been so loyal to you. Right? Can't you see that there's an angel in front of me? Right? There's an angel in front of me. I can't go. And then God opens his eyes, and he's able to see the spiritual element of an angel, and he can't go anymore. And of course, you can read the Torah portion. You'll be able to see what transpires after that. But what happens is that Bilam is out on a quest. He's on a mission to go curse the Jewish people, and it's not successful. He overlooks the camp of the Jewish people. And instead of saying a curse to the Jewish people, he says, Ma tovo alecha Yaakov, how great are your camps, O Jacob. Right? Referring to the halls of Torah study, to the prayer houses that we... And he just can't say... So I think there's something so important here. Every single one of us sitting around the table, every single one of us online watching this, you have a unique talent and unique skills. Some of you are carpenters. Some of you are great with construction. Some of you are great with your intelligence, right? You can create applications for people to use on their phone. Everyone has. We have an electrician, right? We have people here, scientists and doctors and lawyers, linguists, right? Rabbis. We have rabbis, people who have tremendous skill and tremendous ability. Every person is gifted. Every person is gifted in a different way. Why? The reason is because every person is given a task, a challenge that they must accomplish throughout their lifetime. And God gives you the tools you need to accomplish and overcome the challenges that are going to be placed before you. Right? Imagine you call in your plumber to your house, and you say, you know what, I have a cavity. Can you help me with? He says, I'm sorry, I don't have the tools for that. I don't have the knowledge for that. Right? You have the right tools to do the right. Right? You can't call an electrician and tell him to fix your piping. He's not equipped to deal with it. Right? So every person is unique. Every person is special. Every person has a specific task. And you know what? There's nothing you can do to run away from it. You try to run, it'll come running after you. You try to hide, it won't help. Every person has a challenge that they will need to confront and work on. Now, Bilam was trying to take something, a power that was given to him, and use it for the wrong purpose. It's not going to help. You cannot run away from your destiny. You cannot run away from what you're placed in this world for. And if a person is placed in this world to accomplish something specific, God is going to give you every opportunity to succeed and or fail. Right? God wants us to succeed, which is why he gives us those strengths, those abilities to be able to accomplish and to succeed and overcome those challenges. But someone who's a great orator, right, will be given these opportunities to speak. Right? You will be given opportunities. Someone who's given someone who's a great. We had this in the Talmud, right? The Talmud talks about one of the families in the temple was given the unbelievable skills of being great bakers. They would bake the showbread for the temple. And what the Talmud contrasts that with, and they did it with grace. They did that with the joy. And anybody who asked them for the recipe, they told them the recipe, no problem. People hold it close to them. There was a graciousness about them. And then we see that there was another family that used to sing very beautifully, and people would ask them, at a wedding, oh, why don't you sing for us? They're like, no. And they didn't want to use their talents for what it was given to them, and they were punished for it. You're given a talent, you have to use it. It's an obligation for you to use it, and not use it for the wrong thing. You have to know that we're raising children. We have to arm our children with the knowledge of their skills, of their talents. Bring it to fruition. Arm them, because they're going to face challenges throughout their lives. They're going to need to have those tools. A child who has charisma needs to know that they have charisma, because they can use it for good and they can use it for evil. They can use it to rile up people, to do the will of Hashem, to do good deeds. They could use it in a powerful, negative way to do terrible things for humanity. The same exact power. You see great dictators. I mean, not great dictators. You see, in a terrible way, right? Powerful dictators who use that power that they have to destroy, to destroy life, to ruin humanity. And then you see others who use it to build, to add kindness to the world. So we have this power, and you cannot run away from it. You have to harness it, use it, utilize it, and bring it. And this is an example here. We see Bilaam, right? Bilaam is using his powers in a negative way, God says, it's not going to help you. I'm sorry, you can't curse my people. There's certain power, I'm just not going to let you use it for bad things. Right? Especially not to affect the Jewish people. He tried to say negative, it came out good. Had no choice. He said, it's not in my power. I can't do anything. I'm sorry. He tells King Balak, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. I want to curse them. I can't. So let's not run away from our problems. Let's face them. Let's attack them. Let's use our abilities. Let's not run away from our problems. It's a very common thing today. People just give up. They succumb to their challenges where they say, you know what? It's too big for me. It's not too big. If God gave it to you, you can handle it. You can overcome it. You can succeed. Right? You may need some help from family, from friends, from a therapist. You may need help, encouragement from a sibling, from a spouse. Yeah, that's why they're there too. But we need to use the strength that we have, use the capabilities that were gifted to us to really accomplish everything we're here for. We're here in this world for a purpose. We're not here just to live. And you know what? Don't be discouraged by ups and downs. Anybody who's ever had an EKG knows, you look at that meter, right? It goes up and down and up and down and up and down. What happens if it just goes straight? You're dead, right? Human beings, living people have ups and downs. People who are dead have no problems, no worries, no stress, no backache, right? You're living, guess what? You'll have ups and downs. You'll have times that are great, you're up on the sky, and there are times that you're down. But you have to know, you have a down, you have an up that follows it. Don't let it knock you out. Don't let it disable you. Don't let it completely remove you from your goal, from your mission. Right? We have so much we can accomplish. Let's utilize the powers that were gifted to us by God and really bring it to the fore. Right? And win those battles. Hashem should bless us all. That we should face those challenges right on and knock them out. It should knock us out. We knock it out. Right? Overcome them. Use wisdom. Use the talents. Use the skills that God gives you to overcome those challenges. And we will be uplifted from it. We go, the dip only raises up higher. We grow much more. Then you know what? Our challenges change. You think about this. Someone who has a bad temper. Someone has a bad temper. Right? It's not there to stay. Don't take it like, well, I just have a bad temper. What can I do? No, work on it. You know what? Once you work on it, you're not going to have issues with it anymore. Right? You start getting those tools. You work on it. You study it. You learn it. You overcome it. Now you'll get new challenges, different challenges. I've had people tell me this all the time through the Mussar classes. They say, Rabbi, I never knew I had this problem. Right? But once you start working on one thing, God says, okay, you're ready you start off with a softball, then it goes to a hard ball, it goes underhand pitch, then it goes overhand pitch, it goes faster and guess what? You get into the big leagues. Right? It starts getting more serious. Right? And we can work on it in a much greater way. Hashem should bless us all, that we should be able to conquer and overcome those challenges, not shy away from them, and continue to grow and be uplifted every single day. Thank you and have a lovely Shabbos, my friends. Thank you for joining us online, and thank you for joining us here at the live class. Thank you so much. We're going to continue now with our Talmud. Enjoy your lunch, everyone, and have a good Shabbos.